Mm-hmm. Sorry, grab this. You don't have to smile. Thanks a lot, man.
Sure. All right, man.
So hello everybody, I'm here with Tim Berne, the American free jazz saxophonist. Would that be fair to say, or is it free jazz saxophonist?
Say whatever you want. I wouldn't say that. But you
That's what Wikipedia said.
Yeah, Wikipedia. I don't think they would know either.
So how would you describe yourself as?
That's just music. We use composition. We improvise. We've listened to all kinds of music. You know, I've listened to jazz. I've listened to pop music. I listen to everything, and you blend it all up, and I guess I would call it Tim Berne music. That's what Paul Motion used to call it.
Okay, very good. And
actually, he used to call it, he said, "Tim, man, you playing that King Kong music?" He said he thought my music, everything sounded like a soundtrack.
Right. Well, I definitely got...
I like that. Let's call it King Kong music.
King Kong music works for me. So I saw Tim's gig last night in Lowlands in Brooklyn. I'm currently in Tim's house here now, which is beautiful. And very happy that he was available to do this interview in such short notice. So I guess I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your philosophy as an improviser and jazz musician, amongst other things, but I think that's where would be nice to start. What would be your general sense of philosophy when it comes to improvisation? What comes to mind? What are you trying to do?
Ooh, that's a big question.
Yeah, you can break it up and we can elaborate.
I'm just trying to make sense. And making sense means doing something I would like to listen to. And then I'm playing with people. Obviously, we don't discuss it and say, let's do this, let's do that. You know, we play most often we'll play some written things and then improvise it. I don't really say anything. If I'm playing with the right people, I don't have to say anything. We have a common sort of sensibility based on a collective sort of interest in certain kinds of music. And then a lot of it's just what happens at the moment. You know, like last night, if we did it again, it would be totally different. And that's a good thing.
Great.
You know, we're not trying to duplicate the performance.
I absolutely loved the gig last night, man. Like I said to you, it was one of the best gigs I've seen in a long time. I compared it to standard wise or in level wise to like Brian Blade and Wayne Shorter when I saw them, which was phenomenal. Just the spontaneous side to it all, but also the risk taking, the development and the professionalism within it all.
I'd agree with all those except for the professionalism.
Well,
you're being generous.
Well, I think what I like about you, as soon as the gig, before the gig started, I loved just your natural humanness. Is humanness a word? To I guess introducing the music. It was very simple. It was funny, witty. You were just like, okay, everybody, we're going to play some music now.
Yeah, I mean, that's honestly,
I loved it.
That's what it is. I mean, it's not rocket science. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. You got to learn a bunch of stuff, but
yeah,
ultimately, we're trying to. I mean, popular belief is you would say that we're condescending and we don't care about the audience, but really the opposite is true.
Right.
And I think the only difference is instead of trying to guess what they might like, I feel like an honest performance is going to win most people over, or they're going to enjoy it. You know, I don't try to guess what people are going to like. It's not condescending. I don't try to dumb it down if I think the audience isn't ready for it.
Yeah.
And I like playing in this bar because every week it's different people, and there's always a few people who are there just to drink.
Yeah.
Who don't know there's going to be music. And I like the idea of just trying to convert them or get them interested or get their attention. And rather than playing a concert hall where everybody's there for the concert and
Very
sort
good.
of already have them, and there's something cool about just setting up in this bar. And
Are you there every week then playing?
yeah, everything.
And you have a different lineup every Thursday?
Almost every week. Yeah.
Wow, great.
90% of the time.
So you would do rehearsals every week coming up to a new gig?
I mean, a lot of these people, we've been playing together a long time. We've sort of figured out
Yeah.
we can learn a lot of music really fast.
Yeah.
If I send them the music, most of them can just learn it, and then we might talk for 10 minutes or rehearse for an hour the day of the gig. But at the moment, at least, these gigs they're definitely not over rehearsed. I mean, last night we didn't rehearse as a band.
Well, it sounded very
I've been
well
playing
put
with
together.
Greg for 3 years pretty steadily, and Tom I've been playing with since 1981.
Yeah.
And Ralph I've known for 20 years, 15, 20 years.
Right.
So there's nothing to figure out. There's no...
You kind of have each other's vibe figured out.
Yeah, and it's, they trust me. They know they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But they also know that I want it to make... I don't know. I mean, it's such a weird thing, but yeah, I want it to be good.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. They're not going to just get up and play their shit.
Yeah.
And just go in it for themselves.
Yeah.
They don't make a lot of selfish moves. I think that's the key.
They're contributing to you.
Yeah, they're just
to your sound.
They're only playing when they think it's gonna, they're gonna say something or mean something.
I loved the sections that I thought was just super interesting. The sections where there was clearly form and structure, but it was just the drums playing. And then, for instance, there's one part where the drums was playing and then the guitar came into it. So you didn't have a bass player last night, just guitarist, trumpet, yourself on alto, drums. Did I leave anything out? It was a 4-piece, wasn't it?
Yeah.
4-piece. And I don't know, the way things were set up last night, it was very modern, but also like in the sense of, it was accessible modern, to my ears. I was like, this is badass, this is fucking cool. Like, I could, metal musicians could listen to this and be like, this is sick, or rock musicians, normal people too.
Yeah, we love normal people.
Yeah, always welcome.
We're very inclusive.
But it just had a new rawness and edge to it. Was it recorded last night?
This friend of mine always videotapes this stuff, but I never listen to it.
Yeah.
I hate those videotapes. They never sound.
Yeah, they don't. No.
I always get depressed because it doesn't sound as visceral. And
yeah, and especially
I know in the room it feels good. I'd just leave it at that.
That's the thing. Well, you see, especially when you play well and it comes out really well on the night, but then when you listen back, it's like,
if it's not recorded well,
it's just like, oh, what a waste. Yeah, definitely.
So I've learned not to.
Right. But the compositions from last night, are they previous compositions of yours? I know you did one or two.
Yeah, and there's a Julius Hemphill piece.
Right.
I don't know if you know who he is. But
no, I do not.
You should look him up.
Right.
He was my teacher in the 70s. He's passed away in the 90s.
Right.
But incredible composer, player.
Super. He's an alto player.
Yeah. Look up this record, Dogon AD.
Right.
Yeah, incredible. His first record, he made it when he was probably 25 or something.
Wow. Okay.
Amazing.
Cool, man. And out of your time working with him, what did you find really stuck with you?
Creativity. He was just constantly writing, and every time he did a gig, it was something different. Music and just not to be satisfied. You know what I mean? Get something you like and then just beat it into the ground.
Yeah, it doesn't end.
I think my worst fear is that I'll go back to something I did 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Or look backwards.
Depressing.
So, it's not depressing, but I'm still not dead. So I like to write new stuff. And
that could be in a future album name. Still not.
I mean, it's tempting to do stuff that works and just go up and not, like you're saying, take risks and just play it safe and know that it's going to be cool. But I'm addicted. I think all my friends, we're all addicted to that fear of the excitement of not knowing what's going to happen. And I think that's you know, I don't know if that leads to success, but it leads to a much more satisfying experience.
Super.
You know,
And
I think the audience knows it. You know, I think they, like you were saying, I mean, to us, it's like we're fucking shit up, you know, and laughing. And to the audience, that's the part, what they like. We're even surprised. We're not sure what's going to happen, you know, and I think that leads to something, it's like a tightrope or a lot. What are those things called? When these guys walk on the wire?
Yeah, tightrope.
Yeah.
Tightrope. Yeah.
So we're walking on a tightrope, and it's like a couple times we fell off, and luckily there was a net. You know?
Great. No, I love it. I love it.
But I think people are, you know, I think they subconsciously they pick up on that, and it's exciting. It's exciting. You know, if we're discovering it, then they're definitely discovering it for the first time.
Right.
And if we're phoning it in, it will sound like it. I think, or you know, they'll pick up on it. I think.
Super. I guess I wanted to know about maybe your recording sessions and how do you go about them? Is everything kind of organized and you do a couple of takes until it's right, or is it all just one take? Whatever comes out.
It's always different. Usually one take only, not because that's my philosophy, but that's usually if I go in the studio, I'm playing with a band that's been playing together, and we have the music together. We're not going to make mistakes, so it's just getting a good take. And first takes are usually the best ones, you know. And some of the groups, I have a group with a guitarist, David Torn, who another one you should look up.
Right. Any particular album of his? Yeah,
Presence, or this band we have, Son of Goldfinger.
Cool.
Or his solo stuff. I mean, he's been making records since since the 70s.
Right.
Amazing guy. Anyway, we do these improvised records, and so we'll record a couple hours of music and then whittle it down to an hour or so. And,
great. You just take out the best parts then, like.
But it's not. Because we're not playing compositions, it's a different thing.
Yeah, well, that would be similar to my approach, because most of my albums, it's all just completely improvised.
Yeah.
One take kind of thing, you know. And I guess for me, where I'm going with it now, because I've done so much of that for a long time, what I find now is I'm kind of looking to find maybe sometimes the best parts of the stuff now, and then bring it in with more modern concepts of, let's say, hip-hop production and sampling and stuff like that. Just that's where I see I'm going with some of my future stuff. I'm wondering, is there any elements of electronic or modern production in mind for your own stuff?
Well, we've been doing it. This guy David, I'll play you something afterwards. But,
cool.
But this guy David Torn is kind of brilliant. He mixes and masters these records, and he also sometimes he'll add things or subtract things or manipulate the music a little bit.
Great.
I mean, we've been doing this since he's been doing it for 40, 50 years. And
super.
He's kind of one of the pioneers of looping and
deadly.
And but these improvised records we do, sometimes he'll fuck around with them.
Deadly.
Record Presence. We did a multi-track, and he would sometimes pull out the drums and then put them back in, or change, or just alter the sound of things, change the panning.
Yeah.
Add some guitar stuff, or you know, just manipulate it a little bit.
Great.
The last thing we didn't really. There's a ton of electronics. The drummer we play with, Chess Smith. I don't know if you know him. Plays with Rebo. Do you know Rebo? Okay.
I don't know.
I can't believe you know me.
Yeah.
Anyway, Chess uses a electronic setup along with the drums. And then there were two electric guitarists, and David does all this looping. He has tons of pedals.
Right.
And then electric bass, and then myself, and that was all improvised.
Right.
And, you know, it's very electronic. So, yeah.
Great. And what would be... As for the music last night, I caught a couple of clips which will be in this video. But as for the music last night, how would you define that? I don't want you to say again Tim Berne music. Like, is there for a future generation to sample that or think of that? How do you define it? can you define it in any way? Because if I'm thinking in color, it had some kind of concretey brown urban thing going on, with a bit of sheen.
I mean, there's a cumulative effect of all the things that, I mean, Tom's been playing drums for, 50, 60 years.
Oh man, he's sicko. I loved his playing.
All these guys listen to a lot of different music. And whether they try to copy it or not, it's there in their subconscious. You know? I used to listen to a ton of soul music when I was younger, and I really like grooves and stuff, and then it's really hard to give it one name. I mean, to me, it's music. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not a style. It's not.
It's grunge. Like I think it's grungy in a way. Would that be fair to say?
But it's not idiomatic. It's not jazz.
No.
It's not rock. It's not classical.
Yeah.
But all those things.
To me,
at some point, all of those things you could say, "Oh yeah, that reminds me of."
Yeah.
But we're not setting out to do that. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it really. I hate to say it, but it's. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't call it improvised music because we're also reading music and.
Yeah, but you're improvising
definitely
a lot like last night as well.
That's the major. I'm more comfortable with that than free jazz.
Yeah.
Because it's not jazz and it's not free. So, but I know that these labels help. Makes it easier.
In ways it helps, and then in some ways.
If you say something, if someone says to me, "I'm going to hear some free jazz," I think Brotzman. I think Derek Bailey. I think I have something in mind that it reminds me of.
Yeah.
And if someone says I'm going to hear jazz, I think Miles Davis. I think bebop. So, and then if they say, "Oh, I'm going to hear some improvised music," some reason that has a different connotation to me.
Okay, improvised music.
But these are all. There's no reason for that.
That's more the European term. Generally, improvised music over free jazz.
I don't know.
Well, that's what Wikipedia says again.
Who is this guy?
It's basically like I was just looking up different things the other night, and it was saying like in Europe, free jazz.
What do you think?
Me personally, I think the term free jazz culturally and in a kind of brand or a stylistic kind of way sounds cooler. But I think improvised music sounds maybe more academic.
It's made up music. I mean, that's what my teacher used to say.
Made up music.
Making shit up. He'd say, "I'm a blue collar composer. Like white collar are the people who own the company.
Yeah.
Blue collar are the people who work for them."
Right.
And he would always say, "I'm a blue collar composer." And what he meant by that was, he's not writing classical music. He's writing music that is a vehicle for improvising. And that's what I'm doing. The written sections without the improvising aren't complete. And the improvising without the written sections aren't complete. So the combination of the two, so I would call it blue collar made up music,
We could keep going down this rabbit hole.
We're coming up with some new shit here. This is going to go viral.
So I guess
we don't need a name.
No, but I think we broke it down enough there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not being facetious. I mean, all these words mean different things to different people.
Is there
free jazz means something to you? It means something to me.
What record of yours would describe the music of last night, so people could hear for reference?
Maybe Snake Oil. I have this band called Snake Oil.
Right, and the album
we
is?
made about 6 or 7 records.
Any particular album that would be?
Any of them. There's a live one that's called, what is the fuck is it called? Do you have a CD player?
I do.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
I can't remember what it's called.
Thanks a lot.
It's a live record, double record.
Amazing.
And then there's one just called Snake Oil. I mean, they're all cool. One's called Shadow Man. One's called, I don't know, I'm senile. I can't remember the show.
But Snake Oil, we remember that anyway.
But the last 2 records I did were all improvised. I've sort of switched around.
Right.
I did a record recently with an accordion player.
Cool.
And a cellist, which was all improvised.
Wow. How does it turn out?
It turned out great. I love it.
Great, man. Any particular name on it?
Are you around next Thursday?
No, come back to Arden Monday.
You could see this accordion player, and she's amazing.
Really? What's her name?
Aurora Neeland.
Okay.
She could be from your neck of the woods.
Maybe.
She lives in New Orleans. Amazing. She plays clarinet, soprano, sax, alto, incredible singer.
Wow.
And plays accordion.
Super.
Yeah, really interesting.
Cool, man. I'll check her out online, I guess. So I just wanted you to maybe talk a little bit about your time in New York as Tim Berne. I'm not going to say a free jazz musician anymore. But
unless you edit the tape, they're going to know what I think.
Yeah. Well, I might just leave it completely as it is. You know what I mean? Keep it casual. But yeah, like, were you born here? Were you born?
I was born in Syracuse, New York, which is upstate New York.
Okay.
It's like 5 hours from here, drive.
Okay, right. So
I've been in New York since '74.
Wow. Okay. And when you first arrived, was it getting into were you always in the more improvised side of things, or were you
I just
playing?
started playing in '74, so I didn't really play a gig until '78.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, right. You arrived young.
Before '74, and so. And I was always in whatever scene I'm in. I mean, I wasn't in any other scene except this.
Right. I feel
I don't know what this is.
For me personally, I found what I was looking for when I came to New York was the free jazz improvised music.
Did you know who I was?
I did, yeah. I saw you online a few times. Wow. You were mutual friends, and I heard
Oh, do you know Jack?
Jack.
He's a DJ in Dublin. Oh. This guy Jack, what the fuck is his name? Calls himself Dejaculate. Killing DJ.
Okay, I don't know him.
Really great DJ.
Right.
I did a tour with him in Ireland.
Okay.
And I thought maybe you knew him because
No.
I'm trying to think how you would know. I mean, you don't know any of those other guys.
No, I don't.
They're way more famous than I
am. You were being mentioned a lot because was it Brian Castan that mentioned you? Or I don't know, you were being mentioned a lot anyway, because I was looking for free jazz scene, improvised stuff, and Brooklyn kept coming up. Brooklyn is where it's at. Check out Tim Berne stuff. Tim Berne. So luckily enough, I went to a gig at the Main Drag the other night, which had 5 free jazz acts. Stephen Gossi. That's how you pronounce it, right? Stephen Gossi, the alto player.
I think I know that.
There was a lot of sickos playing. They were amazing. It was a great. They were fucking class. It was 5 groups playing at the Main Drag in Brooklyn, and they were all. It was free jazz, it was super free jazz, all improvised and just amazing. And I got chatting to a guy after that, and he said that you were playing in Lowlands last night. So that's literally how I was like, oh fuck, I gotta go before I leave. You know what I mean? So
well, actually, I'm playing with the accordion player on Sunday.
Or I'm recording Sunday.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I'm going.
Where are you recording?
I'm up in where is it? Houston. Houston. Sorry, I keep fucking that up.
Houston Street.
It's an hour away.
Oh.
From Manhattan. I have to get the bus.
Oh, it's not
Hudson Valley.
Oh, Hudson Valley.
Sorry, I mixed that shit up.
With?
Brian Castan?
No.
He's a kind of improviser, free jazz, bass player, guitarist, and the drummer's name, James John McClear, is that what it is? I actually haven't met him in person. Most of the guys I play with, every recording session might be the first time I meet them. You know what I mean? So I did a recording session with Bob Meyer and Brian Copeland since I've been here. And that was my first time meeting them in person. But what I'm going to do with that record is I'm going to chop it up and get the best parts out.
So you do mastering and stuff, right?
I can do mastering, but I think for my future stuff, I would prefer to
have somebody do it.
Yeah, it just takes off the stress. You're the music. What I found,
you're so invested in it, you don't have any perspective.
Yeah, that's it. And it's cool sometimes, and you think you're saving money, but really you're just spending more time. Yeah. And stress. So, but for those ones, I'll probably get someone else. Brian was recommending a few guys. So we'll see. But yeah, for that particular record that I did with the two guys, Brian Copeland and Bob Meyer, I'll definitely just be getting out the best parts. And I had this idea for a concept, where basically I'm going to be I've been going around to different New Yorkers since I've been here, and I've been asking them, what inspires you about New York? And then they say a lot of inspirational American shit. And
American shit?
Yeah, like kind of like in a real American, uplifting, like American dream kind of way. Like they say, what inspires me about New York is like the opportunities, the everyone connects with each other. There's so much different, types of people. That's what I mean by American shit.
Yeah, energy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of energy here.
Definitely. So like, yeah, that's basically what will be put into the records, and that's kind of a concept because I'll be using them as samples, and it's inspirational, and it brings that American element into it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's I don't know why I start talking about my record. I just wanted to tell you. I just wanted to tell you, Tim. So do you have any other records coming up?
Yeah, this new one,
the accordion.
So it's called Candid, and it's me, David Torn, Mark Ducray, another great guitar player,
right?
Chess Smith on percussion and electronics, and Devin Hoff, electric bass player.
Deadly. Very, very good. And what is that based on? Is it improvised?
All improvised.
Right,
it's
okay.
Insane, pretty insane.
Is it? Heavy going insane? Or?
You're going to hear it. I'm not going to.
Okay, great. And
Mescal, and we're going to listen to it. Listen to one track.
Super.
And I'll send you off into the world.
Thank you. So we've been going quite some time. I've picked your brains about a lot of things. I guess while I have you on the camera, what is, back to the inspirational American shit?
New York, man, energy.
Yeah.
People, I mean, you almost meet somebody every day who's interesting or challenging or stimulating, music, not just music, but people. You go somewhere, there's just there's people everywhere. And I find New York to be a really positive place. I mean, I think
it definitely is.
I think people are super friendly, probably more than any place I've ever been. I've been a lot of places. Maybe Ireland are more friendly, but I mean, it's just one of those places where it has such a bad reputation, but it's
yeah, I haven't met much. Like, I think most people are pretty.
I mean, you saw that bar.
Yeah,
everybody's just fucking talking to each other.
Yeah, it's very casual,
it's very,
non-judgmental.
Yeah, and it's like that everywhere. This corner store that we moved in here. 20 years ago, and my wife is British, and she. Within a day, she was like, God, people are friendly here. Like you could leave your keys at the corner store. And, just don't have any money. They go, I'll just bring it tomorrow. I mean? Yeah. She lived in Germany, and trust me.
Not happening.
Like, hey, I don't have my 20 cents. Can I bring it tomorrow? No.
Yeah.
I mean, most places. There's a thing about, Americans they talk too much. They're too helpful, or they're too this or too that.
Right.
It's nice to be around outgoing people who aren't just bullshitting. I mean, some places people just talk because they like to talk. There's always something. You're always getting kicked in the ass here in a good way. You know? And musically, I mean, these fucking bars, people are playing their asses off. Not just us. I mean, you go to Barbez. Have you been to Barbez?
No, I wanted to go there.
Okay, so go there.
That was on my list.
Oscar Noriega's playing there now, alto player.
Right.
It's playing till 7:30.
Wow, okay, cool.
So go up there, have a beer, and listen to Oscar.
Right.
These guys are playing for free.
Yeah.
And they're fucking killing it, and it's a fucking great bar, and people are having fun. It's...
And how do you find, like, monetization-wise?
Money?
Yeah.
I don't make any money. I mean, I make a living, but
Yeah.
you know,
By playing the music that you play.
yeah.
Right.
But it's just, you know.
Do you find you have to go back and do like traditional stuff?
No, I do what I want.
Okay, that's exactly what I
It was
want.
better, you know, 5 years ago. Pandemic, I lost a lot of work and then didn't come back.
Right.
You know, I'm not going to Europe anymore.
Right.
That just stopped.
Right.
But now I'm playing in the States all the time, so it's great. Yeah.
And yeah, because for me that is my dream. Like I have zero interest in playing traditional stuff. I want to just play my own music and my own style and not feel like I have to, you know, go and play all this traditional stuff to be accepted, because personally it's not my thing. I don't connect with it. It's great for what it is, you know, and it's inspired the future music and the music. But that's why I would look at you as kind of someone to aspire to be like, for me, because you are doing truly what you want, and
pretty most of the time.
and you have a lovely house.
Yeah, that was luck. I moved to Brooklyn in the 70s.
Right, okay.
So I stayed ahead of the real estate bullshit.
Right. And
Now it's impossible. I don't know how anybody can live here.
Right, it's expensive here.
It's expensive.
More expensive than Manhattan.
Yeah.
Really?
Almost. It's getting there, yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
And would you say you're gigging 5 nights a week? No.
I'm gigging once a week.
Really?
Yeah.
Lovely.
And then I'm
I
doing
would prefer that.
You know, I'm doing a tour, and in the fall I'm doing 17 gigs
Super.
in the States with this thing with the accordion and cello.
Mm.
And, you know, I'm not raking it in, but I'm happy. I'm making records, you know.
Yeah, and people buy the records. You find like it's difficult to sell them.
But I have a Swiss label that believes in me. They put out these records, the packaging
What's the name of that label?
intact.
Intact. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have
I'll
your?
give you some stuff.
Thank you. Do you have your own label as well?
Yeah.
What's that label called again?
It's called Screw Gun.
Screw Gun. Okay, that's cool. I like on your Instagram, like the first thing it says is bad influencer. It's
I
like,
don't even know.
no, I think that's great. Like, it's just straight away. It's like, oh yeah, I already know how he's gonna be. Like, so yeah, you're definitely, I find, like a rebel in your own way, and you know, you're really going for what you want. And yeah,
but that's not rebellion. Rebellious. I mean, you know, on the scale of rebellions is pretty low.
Right.
I mean, I'm not.
To me, it's rebellious.
I'm not going to get hurt, you know. Nobody's going to punch me in the mouth, I don't think, you know, or shoot me.
yeah.
So maybe back in the 60s they might. But,
Right. For what you're doing now, no, I don't think so. It's only going to poke smiles to people's
you
faces.
saw the size of the audience. It's not like we're, you know, there's only a few people there.
There was a good lot there. There was
Okay.
probably, like maybe 40, 50 there last night. And that's a small bar, like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I was delighted to make it. Well, look, thanks for everything, Tim.
Sure.
Really, really appreciate your time. Such short notice. And good luck with everything in the future. I'm looking forward to hearing whatever this
I'm going to
is.
slam you now.
Whatever you're going to show me now, this music. So, yeah, thanks again, man.
Sure, man.
Really appreciate it.
All right.
Bye.